Welcome back, foes. Pwns versus MNM Gaming is about to begin. All on MNM for this one. A 1 point is all they need to make it through. And Pwns fighting for a relegation spot come the end of the year. Welcome back to the desk. I'm El Semitic. With me are Fresh and Fabian. Let's talk about these two squads, starting off with MNM. You know a thing or two about this UK team?
I know a few things about them, and I know that they should be qualified for the major by now, but unfortunately the pressure did get to them last week. They are in, fortunately for them, exactly the same position. 1 point is all they need from this game, and they will be going to Berlin. And I think this is a team that everyone knows has got a decent amount of substance in them. They've got a great amount of talent. They've got a front three that on their day of Solotov, Tyrant and Usus are absolutely scary as anything. They've got clutch potential in Neo and Nello, and they've got a really well-rounded team, I'd like to say. They had a really nice run, beating Secret, G2, Na'Vi, BDS, and then that shock loss last week to Outsiders, which I put more onto MNM than I do put onto Outsiders from that. So what they're looking for today is 1 point first and foremost, but a better performance and I think better team play overall.
That's definitely what they're expecting from, and kind of what I'm expecting from them as well. It's just, you cannot afford yourself to lose out on the mentality now and kind of crumble under the pressure, because I remember back in Playday 3, I said MNM is probably the number 4 team that I will see go through the major, even though they only had 3 points at that time. But we knew the quality of them, and they just can't afford now to just... I mean, we lost to Outsiders. Are they going to lose to Pwns now? I don't think they will. It's just that they need to show that they don't.
Pull it together for one more game, and we'll get to see that'll be MNM's first ever major they go to. They qualified to 6 Invitational 2022, and some of you watched them earlier on in the year. They always sucked in the games that started at 10 a.m., but always did well in the afternoon. But hey, they're going to have to deal with all of it. This is the afternoon, no excuses, or early evening, I guess. No excuses for this one. Pwns, though, on the other side. Fabian, I know you have a thing or two to say about the squad. Tough times, but could get some points.
I mean, I think that they look better this stage than they did last one, even though it hasn't been that much of a difference in the results, right? They are playing a little bit better as a team, but then again, we also have a mission really stepping up, and I think that the reason why they look better as a team is probably because he's performing so well at the individual level that those problems that they have deeper down don't get seen because a mission is just hitting his shots.
They've got a map issue as well, and I will always talk about it. They've got a very small map pool they play. Their 2 wins this stage were on Cafe and Clubhouse and maps that they play. So it's... I think they look all right when they play on those maps. And when they force themselves onto Chalet 4 maps in a row, 4 play days in a row, they don't look particularly great. Like...
Yeah, it's a lot of problems, and I think that they need quite a lot of time to fix these issues. And I think that the break that they have now, if they don't change players and they kind of just work on their map pool, I think we'll see something better, but no, I'm not expecting wonders. We do have a head-to-head prepared as well.
Go ahead.
It's just basically to showcase 2 of the players that have been standing out very much. And I mean, here it says that a mission is above uses on everything. They play very different roles. That's what you need to look at. A mission is actually playing hard breacher and more supportive operators in defense, while uses is basically just fragging out. So we're looking at 2 players that have been really standing out for their teams. 2 completely different roles, 2 teams that play completely different games, but I'm just impressed with how consistent these 2 players have been throughout the entire stage.
We spoke about Mission in the pre-show and the awards because he's like the 2nd-rated player, 3rd-rated player in the entire stage, right? On a team that's bottom of the league. One player that we didn't talk about at all is Usus. And I think Usus, for me, the bit that I like most about Usus is how smart he is, how he plays situations exactly how they should be played in, I would say, 95% of situations that he gets himself in, particularly when he's covering plant or certain angles and anticipation when he's covering multiple angles. Really impresses me. He is a top player.
He for sure is. Just before we move on, we need to see Tyrant wake up a little bit. He has had a quiet stage, and I think that when he wakes up, I think we can see MNM at even much higher than fighting for these 2 spots. I think they could have been a top 1 contender if he hadn't been so quiet, but it's very unlike him. We've seen so much more from him. We know what he got.
We know he's got the quality.
Hopefully next stage, they can really show off that.
Well, let's see which map this will play on. Reminder, MNM need 1 point. The moment they hit 6 match point, it's done. They'll make it to Berlin. Simple as that, much like Rogan last Playday. Villa will be our decider. Pwns starting off on the attacking side with MNM on defense.
So against Pwns, what a lot of teams do is ban Villa, Oregon Club, Cafe. The reason for that is because they're the 4 maps that Pones plays. Now, Villa's going to be the decider. The reason being is that MNM's permaban is bank, which means MNM could not ban the 4 good maps for Pones and their permaban. They had to choose 1 map. So whichever MNM didn't ban is the one we were going to. Realistically, that was going to be Oregon or Villa because they also don't like club. So Oregon or Villa for me. I think Villa, MNM had some impressive results on it, but also some less than impressive results on it as well. They looked very good against Secret. And for Pone's point of view, it's one of their better maps, but it's like their 4th in their better maps.
Yeah, I think the Villa is a good pick for both teams to a certain degree. It's just to show off which team can show up. Because if MNM comes up and they have stress on their shoulders today, which they obviously will because of the weight of the game, anything could happen. But I do think MNM is strong enough to push through Pones.
I think the map pick makes it a little bit more 50-50 and a little less clear-cut than you might expect, though.
Well, good. Then we'll have excitement all the way through it. Again, MNM need 1 point, and Pones are fighting for more points in preparation for Stage 3 and the eventual end of this competitive year with how things would go down in it, though. Fabian, Fresh, thank you very much. MNM versus Pones, starting off on Villa. Hap and Ace, enjoy.
Thank you very much, Milos, and indeed, it is me and it is Ace together here today because Emmy's at the Commonwealth Games.
Cheers.
And Des is on a cruise. He decided to just dip out early, miss out on the best day of European League that you'll probably ever get.
It certainly is looking that way, isn't it? And I mean, above all, I forgot my glasses as well, so...
Want to borrow mine?
It's all right. I think
don't know how much you see with those.
Behind the scenes, I don't usually wear them for casting, so there you go. Little tidbit of information for you.
Is it just a cosmetic item for you?
It's just the aesthetics, I like the way they look. To be fair, I do need glasses, but I need them for distance. I don't need them for short.
Luckily, we have a monitor right in front of us.
Exactly that.
So we don't need the distance here. Unlike some of these players that will be looking for some quite long angles through the game. I would definitely be missing out on those without my glasses. Just little pixels.
I miss out on those anyway, Ham.
I do want to say it, but either way, MNM needs 6 rounds. Pones have an opportunity here to pick up points, though, as they're also still in a heavy relegation fight. Any points they gain here today will be a bonus for Stage 3. Points that they do not need to pick up next stage. And MNM, well, I mean, a point would qualify them, but not picking up any could also still keep them into that good spot, depending on how heroic and Secret will perform later today.
We're going to have Thatcher and Knock taken away as our first 2. Knock bans are on the rise a little bit, not just kept to bank anymore. We do see them creeping in elsewhere. A lot of utility available with the nades, and obviously the silence of that operator can be oppressive in itself. Azami will go by the wayside and joined, unsurprisingly, by Valkyrie. So Azami, I mean, particularly when I think of Azami and I think of Villa, I think of Alamau. Playing from Master Bedroom, really able to shut that area down fantastically well, and since we've seen those sorts of players, Azami ban rate on Villa going up.
Azami definitely a very oppressive operator, using those keeper bearers to truly change whatever angle you might have trained yourself to pre-fire over the past couple years, because suddenly a barrier pops up, suddenly there is a different kind of head, like angle height that you need to watch for, and suddenly that is your life gone if you don't drone it out properly. I think that's the one thing that keeps it a bit balanced, though, is the drones that are, of course, in the game, because you have the opportunity to check it out. And there you have it. Eliminated for Pones. Any point will confirm MNM. So that means 6 rounds. So that is something we'll be counting for here today, Tim. But there's also 3 other things we can be counting for here in this game. You want to know what it is?
I do.
Okay, so we always...
I know what you're going to say, huh?
We always make that big deal out of the 100. Now, in BR6, we had 3 players that reached 100. In NAL, we had 3 players that reached 100. In the European League, there is still going to be 6 players that could reach it today, and 3 of them are currently in this game. We have Emission that will need 11. We have Users that will need 9, and Solotov with just a mere 7. So those are also things we can look out for. See if all these 3 players are going to be able to reach the 100 mark.
Emission's coming into the building like he wants it. He's got a drone at his feet. He's on the thinker. He is not messing about here. Straight away into dining and kitchen. Wants to get himself underneath. Going to be attacking on Stroke. trophy statuary. Tyrant is actually going to open things up. I know he was picked up on previously in the pre-show. He's going to be finding that opening kill onto Exodus, so that is a great start for MNM, who, of course, will keep banging on about it. They just need 6 rounds to get themselves to the Berlin Major. These are the most 6 important rounds of the stage for them. It is as simple as that, and they've got themselves the early advantage. Iana gone, and more importantly, especially on Villa, 2 nades gone.
These are also going to be the last 6 rounds they can try it in, or last match, actually, they can try and get these 6 rounds in. Now, Emission still below, having a grenade available, managed to connect a little bit to users, but of course wants to connect bigger than that, needs to get a kill, and still has that 1 grenade in pocket. He's looking for the Electro Claw, seeing if he can take it off the wall so the breach can come through, but it's quite difficult to eventually reach it. Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to find it as of yet. Definitely making some noise. It could be flanked here if he doesn't pay attention.
I think he was just waiting for that yellow ping that we saw come in there, maybe just looking to try and identify the position, but needs to be careful because he got Nello on a lurk down in the basement. There was a drone down there, so there is a potential for them knowing, sorry, not Nello, it's Neo. They just like to confuse us with things like that. Yes. We'll have usernames with 1 letter different, but it's going to be Neo on the roam with the Jaeger moving upstairs. I'm not sure if Emission is aware or not. WTG does manage to shut down Solotov. That's not going to help him for the 7 kills that he's going to be looking for that century inside of this. Either just moving in through bathroom. A little bit of control gained by Pawns here, but this one is still very much on the edge in terms of rounds and who is going to win it. Emission hasn't managed to push upstairs yet. He's aware of Neo's position, I think, because he's moving very carefully in that direction, but Neo is able to get himself up to the top of Astro stairs. He takes Sider down, drops him to the floor. Unlikely to be collected at this point. 40 seconds left to go. He's crawling to safety. Can they manage it? That's a bit of a steal in the shower from Nico there.
Emission doesn't know Neo is this close. He's still looking to get a grenade or some verticality up there. Might lose his life to Neo if he doesn't actually check the corner, which he doesn't, but Neo missed the shot. He now knows he's in there, but Emission, he needs to go. He needs to push in. They cannot wait. Someone's right behind the boxes, and it's a shotgun that's about to be swinging around the corner, but actually Nello will drop. It's a 2-on-4. Neo goes for a bit of a team fire damage there, but it doesn't matter in the end. Users will be able to lock off that final kill, and MNM still will win that first round, even though Pawns J just needed to push at that moment in time. Big
start for MNM, getting 1 of 6 required, and that will start pushing them towards. Now, even if MNM lose here, it's always important to look. I love the chaos of the last day, especially when a few teams are just left still fighting for those all-important major spots. MNM can lose here, and they can still go to the major, but what needs to happen if they lose, you ask? Well, let me tell you, if MNM don't pick up any points here, they basically need G2 and BDS to lose as well. They don't want them catching up. 2 points would do, but basically they don't want regulation wins for both G2 and BDS. They really are looking towards a heroic win particularly, but they could still be in danger then because their round count is pretty low. So if, for example, heroic win and BDS win, BDS could well steal that spot. So MNM, they are on the edge, teetering if they don't get any points here. So they need to continue that momentum, keep winning these rounds. They're on defense. We'd expect them to be picking them up here on Villa. They need at least 4 for me.
Yeah, that is definitely a benchmark you'll be looking to at least give them a good fighting chance. But yeah, as you said, +3 currently onto the round differential.
Not great in the grand scheme.
It's not great. Team BDS currently on +4, G2 on +6. If they both win their games...
If MNM lose, their round differential will get worse as well.
Exactly, and if G2 and BDS win, who already have both a higher round differential, it is over. That means MNM wouldn't be making it, so the 6 rounds is literally what they need. Otherwise, they need to hope that it is BDS and G2 both losing their game.
Pawns, of course, a team that have struggled throughout the stage, so MNM, they are going to know that they've got an opportunity. Nico, however, has got himself into study. He is going to be using that air jab to prevent any flank up the main stairs. That allows him to push on through from the south side towards the north. They want to get the vertical control over the top of dining and kitchen, which is the site that they're attacking onto here, so that they can start that sledgehammer of Sider swinging to take out that destructible floor, get those vertical angles, rain down the explosives on top of the defenders. But look at this, MNM absolutely stacked on the top floor. They've got tons of guns in there.
Solotov looking to go a bit aggressive, sees a drone coming, knows he might be chased, so quickly dispatches of it, then falls back. Tyrant close onto the trophy door as well, is going to receive a mission. Actually does a little bit of damage to him, doesn't take too much. Flashbangs to be tossed out, trying to get rid of Tyrant in this position, but he digs in even closer. Could be going aggressive with the MP5 here, but he misses his shots multiple times now.
Nearly catches the head as one peeks onto the doorway, but Tyrant decides enough is enough, drops himself over the balcony. Neo with a disgusting little angle from underneath there. He's going to show them that verticality works both ways. WTG manages to take down Solotov. Not a great start for him so far, struggling to get himself on the board. Neo gets dealt with before he can have that impact vertically. A mission manager to find the kill. That's 1 of 11 that he's looking for 100 on the stage, and leaves us now at the 1 minute mark. Pawns with a serious advantage here. 5 versus 3 and vertical control.
Still a line on the board as well. Nello, yeah, we'll be able to find that headshot. Confused by the names there for a second again. Exodus will be dropped. And with that, a 4-3. Slowly starting to creep back in favor of MNM. It is still possible for them to come back because with 40 seconds on the clock, every second will start to count, especially towards the defender's favor. And you also have 2 players offside currently. Some verticality can be regained by users. You also have Tyrant currently offside, able to strike in from the back once a mission decides to enter Memorial. And with that, MNM are in a good position right here, and Tyrant will find him as well.
Levels it up, 3 versus 3. User's going to take a ton of damage there at the top of Astro stairs, but his presence is going to slow Pawns down because they know they need to be wary of that flank now. WTG has managed to get himself into Memorial. I'm not sure if Tyrant is aware. User is in position to potentially stop this diffuser going down. They're not looking the right way, but that is unfortunate. Nello manages to make amends for the team kill with the Nitro, gets himself 1. Tyrant finishes things off, and MNM going to be thanking their lucky stars that Nitro wasn't more impactful.
That could have been detrimental. The team kill coming through. You saw the Hibana swapping around 180 as well, aiming towards the kitchen, but looking to go for a plant rather than the kill, because then it could have been a 2-on-1 situation. But for now, MNM hold on. 4 more rounds, Tim, and they will make themselves over to Berlin to fight amongst the very best that the world of Siege has to offer. Now, they kind of escaped with this one, because Pawns, they had a massive advantage, a 2-minute advantage to be exact, before it started to be brought back by MNM. Well done by them, but you cannot help but think that round could have just gone the other way as well, especially with a team kill like that.
That's it. That's something Pawns have got to be looking at. You know, realistically, they were 5 versus 3 there. They had the man advantage. They had the vertical control. I don't think they really did enough with the vertical control for me. They sort of fought over it tooth and nail. Got it. Were in control of Master. They were in control of Bathroom, in control of Statuary. But they just didn't really do too much with it. We didn't see a lot of impact. And that was maybe a smart play from MNM, because you commented on it at the time, Hap. They basically abandoned sight. They had 2 players that just ran off site, and it left Pawns looking for a little bit of a needle in a haystack, essentially, just trying to find that one man who was left. There was no option then with time ticking by but to push direct to site, and that is when MNM were able to spring the trap. But there was still a little bit of luck sprinkled in there for MNM. There is no question about it. Nello sighing a breath of relief after that Nitro found his teammate, but he was able to still clutch things out. So we head into round number 3 with 30 seconds in. It's Aviator Games is the attack, and Pawns are moving swiftly from the north side.
Now, we heard Fabian say it on the desk. We really need Tyrant to step up a little bit for MNM to make it through. So far, he's doing that. 4-on-0, definitely carrying his weight here, trying to get MNM across the finish line. And that finish line, that doesn't even need to be 3 points. It just needs to be 6 rounds. Anything after that doesn't matter anymore, because they would be confirmed for Berlin. Now, Nico trying to get some good information now, hoping to find out where the Electroclaw was located, but failed to do so eventually, and that means they need to go for a bit of a guess. EMP darts are coming in, stopping these drones from gathering too much information, and as the rest of Pawns is slowly starting to assemble themselves on that top floor, a flank is starting to loom from Tyrant onto the actual astronomy stairs.
Now we're watching on the bulletproof cam. They're going to be feeding that information in. That a mission is pushing into 90 corridor, but Pawns have got themselves set up quite nicely here. They are very aware of the potential for an Astro flank, but they've got themselves the north side of the map. They're taking out utility. That is going to be the bulletproof camera gone as well. We can see the Banshee taking down. So this is all good from Pawns. Do they know about Tyrant? He's just taken out a drone, so they absolutely should. It looks like Tyrant might just be moving himself towards those main stairs, which is going to be the safer route to get himself back up to the top floor.
He knows he's being chased though by those Roteros. Solotov will be taken out by Nico. Not having the best of games so far. Was very close, but still onto 0 kills so far. Being shut down every single time before an impact truly comes in. And of course, he's placed his mute jammers down. There will be an impact indirectly by those utility pieces, but he of course wants to have an impact with his gun as well, as the rest of Pwn slowly starting to circle themselves around the site. WTG, the only one close to the actual study, has Neo close, means he's not able to cross, and thus will be on a bit of a long angle watch.
Tyrant is still trying to get on the flank, try as he might. Pawns have been able to repeatedly spot him out so far, but he is still keeping himself just ratting away in that mid-floor there and making their lives difficult. You can see it's actually taking Cider and Nico at the minute off the board, but it doesn't matter because it's WTG whose name is lighting up the kill feed. Manages to get himself to Tyrant is underneath as Exodus tries to plant. A mission might go in to recover. He does. He gets down. This is huge from Tyrant, but the 2 final kills come in. One was down. Nico finishes Tyrant, and that's going to close out the round. Pawns managing a successful attack on Aviator Games.
Tyrant able to continue sneaking around there. Almost managed to, well, let him win that round for MNM. Put them up to 0-3. But luckily, Pawns, they had that redundancy. They had some extra manpower available to make sure that that would not happen. And they win that first round. MNM denied from the 0-3 so far. But still only 4 rounds needed to make it to Berlin. That is the story every single round. Will they make it? Will they not? Are they putting that one leg towards the other and make sure that they slowly step into the airplane that will be heading for Germany in just a couple weeks' time?
Solotov having a little bit, I don't want to put all this onto one player, it's a team effort as always, but Solotov just struggling by his own standards. Coming into this, we named 3 players who could hit 100 kills to the stage, and that is a serious benchmark to be reaching, and Solotov is actually leading that race. And it is still the case. Users has tied it up. Users has tied it up. Both of them need 7 kills. They both sat on 93 at the minute, you know, but Solotov came into this leading that. He hasn't picked up a kill yet, and it's something that MNM don't rely on as such. You've got, you know, Users and Tyrant backing him up in that line, but they need that little bit more. They need everybody to be giving everything here. You can't come away from a game like this having left anything on the field, and right now you just know that Solotov has got more to give, and right now over these next couple of rounds is the time to do it. Guarantee a couple of rounds, get yourself onto 4, really give your team every opportunity to find those rounds that you need. Amision has impressed me with his speed so far inside of the map once again. Aggressive drone in at his feet, looking for those entry kills. It's surely a matter of time until he starts finding them.
He just has a general knowledge of what is going to be clear, where he can enter from quickly and see if he can put up the pressure that way. But they could also come back to bite them at some point. Once MNM finds out where he's entering from every single time, that could just as well be an entry death. An early one of that, which is not going to be contested. At least for now, he lives. And that is going to be a grenade kill. Finds Users, one of those players, into that top race. Solotov will find Saiters, so finds his very first. But Exodus instantly comes in with a trait themselves. Pawns come off flying in this round.
Certainly do once again. Pawns looked good at the beginning of the last round as well, but we have seen them throw away a 5 versus 3 back in round 2, so it's certainly not beyond MNM to be winning this round, but it is a big question of how MNM are going to do when they are put under pressure by Pawns, when they know what the prize is in their mind. It's 4 versus 3. Neo playing on the Astro stairs where we saw him previously. Pawns have got themselves comfortable control of the south side. Amision is underneath. If he can get himself into dining and kitchen, there could be a real opportunity for vertical nades. That one's not going to find anybody, I'm afraid. Amision, as Solotov has dipped himself deeper back now. The information was just a little bit late on that one. Further explosives raining in. Solotov, he's gone even further now. He's dipped himself back into Astro and holding a deep line. Neo and Amision might just come together again here. Neo managed to miss his shots last time. This time he's going to scurry away, but not before Amision finds the kill. 4v2.
Amision currently onto 93 as well, so he's definitely catching up to the 2 MNM players here, having an okay game so far. 5, that is actually overtakes them at that, as he's trying to make sure that Pawns is going to be able to get a second round in. WTG wanted to go for a plan, but the smoke canister will stop him temporarily. 30 seconds onto the clock here. We'll find the final one. Nello gets taken out, and it's Pawns that will equalize the score so far, 2-2.
Well, what started out looking like maybe a little bit of a walk in the park for MNM to qualify here has just turned into something altogether different right now. Pawns able to get 2 rounds in a row, level things up to 2, and MNM know that they are in a game here. Pawns looking to spoil the party, not wanting to let MNM have it all their own way in the qualification battle. MNM now going to be going down to dining and kitchen. They've got 2 defensive rounds remaining, and boy oh boy, do they want to be winning both of them.
We now have Emission on 94, Solotov on 94, Yuzus on 93. So it is getting quite close here. Emission definitely having the better game of the 3, but look at WTG, for example, also stepping up onto 5 kills. Now, he is the 2nd best rated player onto Pwns, but he's never really been like the positive kind, right? As in like positive KD. He's always been slightly negative, and now he's definitely in a good shape here. Even swapping off of the Heartbreach here, going for a Twitch. And if you look at the lineup, Amaru, Finka, Lion, Twitch, Sledge, there's only one word that comes to mind, and that is going to be a rush.
Question is, are MNM going to be ready? Hap, here we go. Pawns have gone straight in. Is Exodus going to trigger? No, nobody's going to trigger anything because Nello's on the trigger with a headshot and a kill onto WTG and Nico. That puts pay to the rush, but Nello is out of things. Neo is down as well. Solotov comes fighting his way back onto site. It's now 4v1. It's all up to Exodus, super low health. 35 seconds into the round. We don't often see things of the like, but MNM, they have just stood up tall and they have said, we are ready. We're having absolutely none of this. And Neo, he can surely be collected now, and that's going to leave them in a 4 versus 1.
Definitely can give some credit to Nello there. Stopped out the initial push. Shut down 2 out of 3 players and put Exodus down quite low as well. Before a response came in, Users will find that very final one. Shuts down Exodus. And with that, MNM is going to be able to put themselves onto 3-2. So they take that lead again after just shortly losing it to an equalizer.
I think MNM are going to be very grateful to Nello there.
Very helpful, yeah, grateful.
His reactions on the pantry door when faced with, and how often do we see this happen? Suddenly you're faced with 3 people and you've got too many options, and we so often see players take 20 damage off that player, 50 damage off that player, but don't find any kills because they're like a child in a sweet shop. They're just grabbing for everything in front of them and they don't get any of them. But this time Nello, he managed to find 2 out of 3. And it really did just break the back of that rush, slowed it right down, and just kept MNM in the round. They managed to get the win downstairs. It's the final defense now. It's Aviator Games. They lost this one back in round 3. Can they do any better this time?
It's actually the 2nd time we've seen that today. We could just take a look back at the previous game where Bibu was ready to shut down the rush that came in on their side from outsiders through the copy window. Also shut down 2 out of 3 players that jumped through before he died, unfortunately. But Pwns, are they going to be able to put a 3rd on the board? They might have been content with their 2nd round and decided, you know what, let's just go for that rush. Let's see what we can bring. If we can put something up on the table here. Now back towards their more default lineup. You see Emission back onto the Finka. Was shortly on the Amaru. Actually managed to get the injure, but not the confirm. Didn't really matter that much in the end, of course, because we were completely shut down before that rush even properly started. They got into the room. That's about it. That's how far they came. And at the top floor, needing to be taken first. Tyrant being the blockade that MNM have tossed up.
Here we go then. Pawns are droning through, and once again, Emission is not far behind that drone. It's something that I've discussed before. Basically, the distance from your entry player to the drone determines the level of aggression that you're playing with. And Emission, about 10 feet behind that drone, is playing super aggressive here. He's going in. He wants those kills. He wants to give his team every opportunity. 6 kills away from the 100 he is, and he has now managed to push his way into 90 corridor. MNM have been forced away. Neo's dipped back all the way to the top of main stairs. They need to be careful of Solotov, who I think is lurking underneath with the mute at the minute. Nitro in hand, no, he's in vault. It was just difficult to see exactly where his silhouette was. So MNM, it's Tyrant once again downstairs. Doesn't have a Nitro, of course, does have impact, can open up the floor beneath, but I'm sure pawns are going to be ready for that this time.
Electric Claws on the outside of the vault door there, so they're not going to be able to quite reach that unless they get a Rotero around the corner. But it's currently being watched by users, so it's going to be quite difficult to get that into the right place, unless, of course, he watches the wrong decision, the wrong angle. Now, I believe that they detonated the Rotero a bit early there, so the wall hasn't been opened up, and a Solotov takes, so they had a Nico quite cleanly. It's going to be another man advantage here for MNM.
Great start for MNM, exactly what they needed. As I said, back in round 4, they needed to win those next 2 rounds, 5 and 6, to put themselves 4-2 at the half, and it certainly looked like they've put the best foot forward towards doing exactly that. Solotov just dips out of the challenge there, almost goes in on Map's door, but might be thankful that he didn't. He was stacking up against a number of guns there, and Mission trying to hold a long angle through sight, just can't see the man in behind because he's the other side of the wall. Don't get over excited by those silhouettes. Mission just pushing in now. Solotov inside a vault, needs to be careful here, being challenged from behind the bar as well. Manages to get one. That's a good start for pawns here in the attack. Mission can continue his push through. If he has a look at the top of main stairs, there might be another for him, but no. User steps into vault and just replaces that position. 30 seconds left to go, and it's 4 versus 3. MNM have the advantage.
Tarn still below as well, could be playing a huge role here if a plant eventually does decide to go down in favor of pawns. But I believe that they have left the diffuser. No, just have caught it. Tyrant still below, could be in that crucial role because now he can start rotating right beyond the vault as the plant is going down, and Nitro comes in as well, will actually stop the planter from going through. It's Users that picks up the kill. WTG will respond, but the time will run out. Scyther just started it, but Tyrant from below will get the headshot and stop Scyther from putting that diffuser onto the ground permanently and counting down from 45 seconds. And with that, MNM, 4-2, 2 more rounds to go.
Little bit of a mistake from pawns there, I think, not dealing with Tyrant underneath. They saw the impact that he had last time they attacked that site. Granted, it didn't cost them the round that time, but he was able to put down 2 people who were trying to find that diffuser and put it on the ground, and they just didn't account for that this time. They didn't really get anybody in underneath to clear. It all came through 90 corridor. They allowed Tyrant to play down there, and he is their undoing ultimately. So certainly something that pawns need to be picking up on quicker in future, not allowing those players to just rinse and repeat on the defense what has worked previously for them. So that's going to be a 4-2 half for MNM. Let's give you a little update on the numerous milestones that we're looking at inside of this game. Don't worry, you're not going to miss a one. MNM, they're looking for 6 rounds. That gets them to Berlin. 2 more will do them, and they're going to be feeling confident now that they've got themselves the 4 on defense. We've got Emission wanting 11 kills. He's on 6. Users needs 9. He's on 4. And then we've got Solotov who needs 7, and he is on 4. So closest yet to the 100 is Solotov. It's going to be 3 kills left for him to go, and he will get there. I think we're going to see a couple of these players make it, if I'm honest.
We could even see all 3 of them make it if pawns manage to drag out this game long enough, if they manage to fight this all the way towards overtime, possibly even. And remember, all MNM needs is overtime. So after that, no need to perform anymore, but at the same time, all the pressure will glide off your shoulders to some extent, which might free them up, which might let them play in an even better state than we've seen all season so far, because you've achieved your goal. Those last rounds don't matter anymore, just play out of your minds.
The 7th round is honestly going to be the easiest round that MNM probably win in their lives.
This time it will be. Normally it's not, but this time it will be.
It's job done at that point. And like you say, the pressure just immediately lifts. Users, he's going to be getting in with the drone underneath. MNM looking for a strong attack to start things off. They're attacking onto Aviator Games here, which is going to be Pawns' first site of choice. They've got a fairly standard setup there, nothing too wild. They've got the Goyo brought along by Nico. That's just going to look to slow down any pushes that are coming in. They don't have the electricals of Kaid that were played against them by MNM, and did the job fantastically. Managed to keep the vault wall shut, and that was where we saw Users able to play into and find those final kills. So definitely something that Pawns could potentially pick up on from that defense. But Solotov right now looking for that tight angle. Needs to be careful though, because he's going to be challenged by Exodus as soon as he tries to walk in.
Some spots came through from that drone. Solotov not wanting to go for the pre-fire yet, though, as he doesn't know how, well, extensive that door is being held currently. He knows Exodus is quite close, but still, no response. No one truly pushing in. There is some of these Vulcan canisters blown up just to make sure that they will not be working against them later on in the round, because 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock here. Pwns still holding on. Scyther onto those main stairs is here to stop users from truly moving up and potentially using these grenades. And MNM, well, they need to find an entry, but for now they're all stuck up near those main stairs.
Going to have the vertical nade attempt there. Not going to have any success. Tyrant manages to take down Scyther. What a big start for MNM, but that's not ideal. As Exodus, WTG and Amision manage to find 3-4v2 now, as Pwns have got themselves well and truly on top. Nello, he knows that there's one underneath. He's thinking of going looking for them with the Flores, but with that diffuser in hand, it is a risky little game to play because it could put it down in no man's land. He sees him. Can he find? Yes! Gets the shots, but shut down from above in a beautiful show of vertical teamwork from Pwns there, as WTG manages to pick up that final kill with the shotgun. 20 seconds left to go, and it's all up to Neo. He's on the Nomad. He's trying to work his way in. The likelihood is here that kills are going to be required in this 1 versus 3. He checks the vertical angle. He sees his man, but all he does is take damage. 8 seconds left to go, and this round is all but run. It's all but over, and WTG comes down the stairs to finish off the last man, and that is going to be 3-4 on the scoreboard now, as once again Pwns start fighting back.
Managed to get that first defensive round on the board here. Crucial for Pwns, who are, if I am correct, all the way at the bottom of the overall standings. And quite understandably that MNM currently calls this timeout. 2 rounds all they need. You cannot afford to let it slip now. You cannot afford to lose against Pwns, who... And I mean this, it's not disrespectful or something like that, right? But they're currently in 10th place overall, 11 points over 2 stages. They're looking to be auto-relegated back towards the Challenge League at the end of the year if nothing changes quickly enough. So MNM, who are currently finding themselves in 5th, in a prime position to make it to the major, they need to be able to pick up 6 rounds here. And that's why they call it this timeout now. Better do it now than once it's suddenly 5-4 Pwns, because then it might be too late.
It really could be. They've had their 60 seconds. We all know about the strength of MNM tactical timeouts. We've seen them turn rounds, turn games on their head before. So they're going to be hoping for that now. 4-3, Pwns keeping them on a tight leash at the minute, and certainly not giving them an easy time here when it comes to getting themselves qualified for that major. It's going to be trophy and statuary from Pwns this time around for their secondary defence. To be honest, MNM are probably looking particularly towards round 9. They want to win these rounds as soon as they can, don't get me wrong, but they are going to know that even if they lose here, there's a 3rd choice site coming along for Pwns, and that's all that MNM really need to win. If they can win that 3rd choice site twice over, it's job done, and that is going to be the big focus. But right now, what a bonus it would be to get trophy and statuary 1. It didn't go fantastically well for MNM last time. There was a real flurry of kills from some mid-round aggression from Pwns, and MNM need to make sure that they are staying focused throughout the entire round and are ready for moments just like that.
Do you really want to wait for round 9 and 12, though, to confirm your major spot, especially that round 12?
I mean, I do.
Yes, of course.
That's the most exciting.
But I mean, if you're MNM, it's like you're really letting it come down to a round where you either lose it all or potentially qualify yourself for the major, depending on whether or not you win that one single round. So MNM will definitely be looking to win trophy here and then just get another round instantly locked up right after it. So their job is done. Their pressure is off and they can start preparing for Berlin. But Pwns, they want these points, maybe more than anybody else, because they want to keep their spot in the European League. And fair is fair, they won't keep it if they don't start picking up points anytime soon. That's a good spot.
Nello is just going to spot out the ADS being repositioned there next to the bomb chassis. Amision putting a second one down as well in what is a very late setup from the Jaeger. I'll let him off. Jaeger does have an awful lot to do. Bulletproof camera, reinforcements, ADSs. I'm pretty sure he will be looking now. He's got everything settled. He's going to be playing inside of there. Nico with a huge kill to kick things off. He's going to find users on the side of MNM, and that leaves us now 5v4, and I'm just a little bit worried about MNM here. I don't know if the pressure is just starting to tell a little bit.
It might start to tell here. I mean, they are a team with some experience aboard, but also a team that got in from Challenger League, but made it to the 6th Invitational before they even qualified for the European League, which is quite a strange thing to see. Now, Tyrant is trying to find a very tight angle here, hoping to bring back that body balance just ever so slightly towards MNM, but sides are hiding right behind the cabinet right there. Could definitely be putting some dirt into the stories of MNM here.
Solotov, he knows that he's likely to be spotted out by the bulletproof camera. No light on it at the minute, so not likely being watched. We're going to have a Banshee taken out by a nade there by Solotov, but he may well have to do something about the bulletproof camera as well. There's another Banshee just being marked out, so obviously concerned about the impact that the Malusi could have here. 5 versus 4 in favour of Pawns. 45 seconds left to go. Exodus finds Neo. 5 versus 3, and Pawns are standing tall. Hap Scyther manages to find Neo. Solotov's trying to push in, trying to get anything going, but they can't, as it's a flawless round at the worst possible time for MNM. Pawns, they managed to level things up. It's 4-4, and we've got a game on our hands.
Emission will be going for a quick leave, though, unfortunately, which will most likely result into us having a bit of a pause. But yes, that was the tactical timeout. That was supposed to be the tide turner, or the shifting of the tides, if you want to bring it back to some operation names. And now it's 4-4. 2 more rounds for opponents to pick up points, but 2 more rounds as well for MNM to start their qualification to Berlin. Now, Nello is talking quite a lot during this time. He's trying to get the troops back together. He is the experience that is on this team. He has been to events. He's won events. And now he wants to qualify for a major again to see what MNM can do over there. But 4-4, it's starting to slip away slightly. And where it might have been a bit of a worry before, it's starting to turn into a bit of a bad dream. Wondering if there's still a good ending at the end of it.
Pawns, I don't know about this. Pawns they just feel like they've hit the stride the last couple of rounds. You know, they've been completely on top of things. MNM have just not found any sort of foundation or footing inside of these attacks yet. They've not been getting onto site. They've not really been pressuring Pawns as a defensive side. You know, now is their opportunity. We talked about round 9 and 12 particularly. It's going to be the off-sites for Pawns, and that's where they are, dining and kitchen. I tell you now, Hap, 100%, if Pawns win this round,
it's over.
There will be some panic in the MNM camp.
It could even be over at that point, because that's suddenly that 5-4, the full rotation completed, and then it will truly come down to Aviator games for MNM, because that's when they need to stop that bleeding. And that might have been a disconnect. No, okay, Solotov was back for a second. I was afraid there. He might have been disconnected because he started moonwalking. Nico is holding it though. Could be finding him on his way in. Otherwise, it's going to be Exodus. It might be that they play on contact here. There's also some Capcan traps around, so Solotov definitely needs to be careful in his entry here.
This is it. Pawns can sort of play this now to frustrate MNM. Like you say, play off each other's contacts, just guarantee the trades and just basically grind MNM down with constant trades and trouble. Now then, nade goes in through the window, does it? No, it seems to have been put back in pocket by Tyrant. He's not going to launch it. If he had, he might have just found himself a little bit of joy inside round 9, but no, they still need to get control of top floor yet, do MNM. Just seem like there's a few ideas going on here, Harp. They need to get cohesive. They need to start working together. That's a good step. They've got the master wall breached, so that is going to force the defenders out of statuary at least. We see WTG heading back down Astro stairs.
There's still 3 more C4s in pocket and 1 pre-placed though, and Mission has that pulse. They're trying to find them from below without even having to take any of these gunfights. And of course, they used one of these C4 earlier on to destroy that opening, to slow Solotov down. And that pre-placed, well, there's a Mission. Actually, with the C4, doesn't catch a Solotov. He just lives, but he might be receiving a second C4 soon just to finish the job.
Solotov looks like he's going to head down the red stairs, wanting to take a challenge, but super low health, needs to be careful. It's only going to take a tickle from a bullet, and he's going to find himself down. Tyrant as well, struggling to even get inside of the building here. Scyther does take a lot of damage along the way. 1 minute left to go, and my big concern here for MNM is map control, really. They've now got themselves established above, but they're not really inside of the map yet. A Mission is going to take down Solotov. That's going to be the first kill, and it's another on his way to 100, leaving him on 9 now. 2 more will do it for a Mission as he continues continues to lead his team towards a potential upset here as Pawns are 4-4 on the scoreboard, 5 versus 4 in the round, and they look like they might just be holding on to Dining and Kitchen.
Needs to be careful here. Another C4 could soon be coming on the way. Yuzus has been spotted out by the Poles. Of course, one C4 left into the pockets of Exodus. A 1-man advantage as well for Pawns. 20 seconds, they need to go for a plant, and it seems like Nella might be the very first one in. That's not how you want to lead in, not with your diffuser carrier. If this goes wrong as WTG picks up yet another round, it might be the end of MNM. Nico finds Tyrant with the Capcan trap. Neo is there on the cover, but there's going to be 5 members of Pawns left. The cover is dead. It's only up to Nello, and he will fall as well. Nico shuts him down, and it's Pawns that will be leading this game with 5-4. And MNM definitely finding themselves into a bad dream now. They need to win Aviator games in this very next round.
This is it. The problem for MNM that they face now is they are going up against primary and secondary site for Pawns. They have done a full defensive rotation, so MNM are now coming up to sites that they have already lost and that are preferential towards the defenders. Pawns, 2 more rounds will spoil the party. It will seal the deal on 3 points for them. It will give them a huge boost in that year-long battle to stay away from the bottom spots, and Pawns are fighting hard for it. They're fighting harder than MNM right now, who are within a hair's breadth of making the Berlin Major, but they need to find 2 rounds. As you can see at the bottom of your screen there, regulation loss puts them down to 36% because they are just really disadvantaged in terms of the round differential. If BDS and G2 both win, MNM are almost certainly out of the Major at that point.
If G2 even wins 7-5 against Heroic, it's end of story for MNM as well. And that might even be able to get worse, because if MNM lose it here, 7-4, that's -3, puts them down onto 0. Heroic cannot lose 8-0. It's impossible.
And I mean, if Heroic win, then if BDS win, they will knock MNM out on round difference. Like, this becomes really problematic for MNM. They don't just need one result, they need multiple results to go in their favour. Oh dear!
Oh, this is definitely not the game they sign up for against the bottom-rated team in the European League. They might have expected themselves an easy ride through to Berlin, but it's starting to be the complete opposite. It's starting to become that nightmare we spoke about. It's starting to become Pawns that is suddenly starting to step up and put up upsets left, right, and center.
Now is the time, MNM. This is the round that you need to really step up and grab a hold of. Coming into Aviator game, Solotov is going to push himself forward into study. There's still the man on main stairs. Solotov's going super aggro here and super shut down by WTG. Users, he manages to find Nico. Neo, Users, they get in and find more kills. MNM 4 versus 2 in a mid-round flurry. They manage to come out on top. WTG, Emission, both trying to hold on at the minute, but the pressure is going to mount. WTG, he takes damage inside a site. They're trying to just buckle down here and let MNM push forward, but vertical nade from Users. He's 1 kill away from 100 hap, and Neo manages to find the final one that will put MNM 1 round away. Just 1 more round, MNM, and you are in the Berlin Major.
We said that they needed to win Aviator games, Tim. They managed to take that one. Now they have 2 more opportunities, and as Aviator games seems to be brought out again by the side of Pawns, MNM know what they did well. MNM knows what they can repeat to potentially find some success. However, the danger is as well, Pawns might adapt. They might change their setup, might play a little bit different, might go for a bit of a disruption in that early round to make sure that Users is not allowed to have these early frags.
Oh boy, I've said it once or twice before, Hap. And I'm sure everybody at home, I'm on the edge of my seat right now with this one. 5-5, MNM managed to stop a 3-round roll from Pawns as they had managed the back-to-back-to-back. They've stopped that momentum, they've sent the train off the track, and they are now looking to double down and find themselves that all-important 6th round. Users, 1 more kill will get him 100. Solotov, 3 more kills. Emission, he is 2 away. It is all to be fought for over the next couple of rounds. Round 11, it's going to see us in Aviator games again. Pawns on the defense. MNM looking for glory.
Definitely will be looking to find their 6th round. Something they failed to do the last time around. Emission though quite close, go for the jump out! Gets the kill to Solotov, shuts him down. He now as well is on 99 kills. And as he's starting to fall back, it is going to be MNM that needs to be rotating around. A bit of annoyance from Solotov coming into the chat right there shows that there might be a bit more of a mental game going on as well that might hinder MNM from winning this.
Probably a bit of that. Exodus, he's looking to get aggressive out into Astro here and take his peak onto Master as well. He's just going to hold himself inside a trophy, I would imagine, for as long as he can. No, he's going to dip away. Chooses to get over the balcony there, back to safety. Pawns, they're happy with what they've got, and they are going to let MNM have that north side of the map now as they start to move in towards the second phase of this defence, which is trying to get themselves back to site. Probably a little bit of gentle probing from main stairs into 90 corridor, trying to hold MNM at bay.
1 minute 45 on the clock. Pawns holding tight. They have the advantage. There is a mission still onto the flank. Now slightly rotating up the red stairs here. I mean, Tyrant is quite close. He could be caught off, but of course he needs to hold tight. A mission you don't need to swing now. You can just hold. And as more air jabs are being set up around the back stairs of the Solarium, that means there's one less air jab he will have to deal with on these red stairs as the round progresses. And don't forget, he still has the opportunity to rotate back up on main as well and fight with the majority of Pawns onto the direct side.
We spoke about the potential of this coming all the way down to round 12, and it is certainly a possibility at this moment in time. Pawns have got the advantage, 5 versus 4. They've managed to burn 2 minutes of the round. MNM have been struggling so far to get themselves inside a sight, Hap, and that struggle continues as WTG swings at the perfect moment, manages to find one. Users does get his 100th kill of the stage onto Exodus to keep MNM in this.
Emission is starting to rotate up, though. The plans of Nello is attempted. Emission, he's going from below. That is going to be kill 100. No, he misses the shot with the shotgun there. He needs to go for a re-swing. Scyther goes down. Yuzus has been dropped. Neo has an opportunity to dig himself in deep again. The same goes for Nello, but the cover isn't there. It's only up to Nello now in a 1-on-3 situation. 25 seconds left on the clock, slowly ticking down. Who is going to be able to shut down Nello, or will he go for one of those historic clutches again? He will find one. He will not find the second. Nico will shut him down, and it is 6-5 for Pawns. And one more round, one more opportunity for MNM to lock themselves in for the major. Otherwise, they need to wait for the rest of the games tonight.
This is drama and excitement of the very highest order here in the final Playday of EUL, and this is exactly why we love this game. Pawns have got themselves onto 6 before MNM could make it. It's round 12, Hap. It is the last throw of the dice for MNM here. They need to get this done, otherwise it is completely out of their hands. And as we saw on the graphic earlier, only a 36% chance of that happening, and that is taken into account. Rabuni does all the numbers for us. It takes into account every possible other outcome in the other games. How many scenarios do MNM go through? And it's about 1 in 3. It's not good for them, and they are going to be wanting to get this done. They don't want to go to 36%. They're looking for any of those hundreds. But right now, Pawns, they are poised, they are ready, Hap, and they are here to spoil their party.
If it's still done the same way as it was back when I requested it the very first time, it's about 50,000 scenarios that are being run, 50,000 simulations, and if MNM lose it here, only in 36% of those, they would make it. And that is, of course, still doable. But if you look at the game still ahead, BDS up against Secret does look very likely like BDS might be able to win that one. G2 against Heroic could honestly go either way. And only one of them needs to be not in their favor for them to not make it. So MNM, they can lock it off here. They need to win this round. Also, Solotov, 3 more kills. Emission, 1 more kill, and both of them will be reaching the 100 as well, as Users was the first one to beat a Centurion into the European League this stage.
the excitement is absolutely palpable here as the attack begins for MNM. The droning is there. They're playing cautiously. They don't want to give away an entry death. They have to find that first kill here and really put their best foot forward. Either just applying that alibi decoy to the window there, just looking to prevent easy entry coming in through that wolf window. Tyrant is pushing up 19. Knows there's a man there. He manages to find him. That is the first of 5 that they're going to need. Headshot onto Scyther. Takes down the alibi, and that could be a great opener from Tyrant there. He needed a big game today, and he has delivered. 9th kill so far. MNM have the advantage.
Now, this is the round where it either becomes a nightmare for MNM or the start of an incredible story where they will head to Berlin. They have the very first kill. They need to find 4 more in the next 1 minute and 22 seconds. However, the favor is definitely still with the defense in terms of time. It starts to tick down slowly. MNM, they need to find more entries than just the one they found, especially with a mission that's still alive. We know how much of an incredible player he is, and as long as he's still standing, that round is not one for MNM.
Pawns have played well so far tonight. They've had great timing on their aggression. They've been willing to take gunfights, and they've won plenty of them as well. As you say, Exodus, he is going to have the natural right, but no joy. Solitov looking to get that inside. Nico taken down as users, pushes with a double kill towards Berlin, and in comes the nade, and that is going to be the guarantee that MNM were looking for. They needed round 12. They got it, and they catapult themselves into the Berlin Major.
It almost feels like it was over, but it's not yet. We are going to overtime, Tim, but it doesn't matter anymore for MNM. Pawns still have these points to fight for, where they find themselves in a position where they could potentially find themselves out of the relegation spot at the end of stage 3. There's still these kill records to be played for, the Centurions to be given out. Only one of them has reached it so far, it's Users, but he managed to have an incredible round there as well as soon as he broke through it, really catapulting MNM through that round, allowing them to tie it all up. And with that, that's one of the spots given away. That is one more name into the draw that will be happening later tonight to find out who plays in what group. But there's still a game to be played. There's still points to be given away, or rather a point to be given away between these two teams. And potentially still 2 more Centurions to be made.
Oh boy, that is MNM through. That is 3 teams confirmed from EUL now. We've got Wolves, we've got Rogue, and we have got MNM, which makes the rest of the games even tastier. It makes them even spicier. We've got 3 teams now fighting over just 1 spot. And if I'd have said at the beginning of this stage, at the beginning of this year, that BDS and G2 would be 2 of the names fighting over a final spot for the Major, and at least one of them not going, I don't think many people would have believed that, but that is the position that we are in. There's going to be a lot more action to come for tonight, but we need to finish this game off first. We're in overtime, best of 3 rounds now, as MNM start out on the attack again. It has been a 4-2 half in both directions, so you would give a slight advantage to Pawns here, being that they are on the defence to kick things off. They're going to start with Aviator Games, and as we've seen every round so far, Solitov is looking to push himself into study to begin with.
Now the pressure is off though from MNM, and that is going to be the massive change. Saito not really aware, or might have been aware of the RC Rotero popping off right next to him, taking out some of that utility. Has some cover up on the bar. It's going to be receiving another RC Rotero. Does blow up, but doesn't get any utility. 3 discs still up. However, just a single grenade will be burning all 3 of them. That's something they need to be careful of.
It's something that I picked up on and complained about previously. Those were my magnets. You've got to think about their location, because the detonation, the explosion still happens. And like you say, you lose the utility that it's too close to. Tyrant, he manages to take down Nico. That is a great opener for MNM. Solitov, he manages to get kill 98, taking Exodus down. 2 more for him to go. Leaves us now in a 5 versus 3, and as you said, Hap, it's like the seal has been broken for MNM. The pressure is off, and they're starting to play with a new freedom, but Solitov, he's going to be taken down by a combination of bullets and gas as WTG manages to find his man. 1 minute 15 left to go.
A lot of pings are coming through. A mission jumped up from the hedge, but he's not going to be able to lock it out. And indeed, the seal has been broken. Tyrant locks it off with a triple kill to come through, and that is going to be MNM onto match point. They have the opportunity here to find their 2 points, but they've already qualified, and the pressure is off. They don't need to perform anymore. Now they can just play for the win. They can relax. They can play like they can. Like they can play with the best of their abilities now without any of the pressure being present.
We're going to be heading into round number 14 then of a potential 15 here. We're going to see MNM move on to the defence. They're actually going to take Dining and Kitchen. Interesting site choice. We saw them play it in round 2. We saw them win it in round 2. We saw them play it in round 5. And guess what? We saw them win it in round 5. So 100% record on the day for MNM defending Dining and Kitchen. They're going to try again. From memory, Pawns struggled to get top floor control and really use it. You know, when they did get in there, they were a little bit limited on time. They didn't really find anything from the verticality, and they'd spent a lot of time in utility and indeed manpower and effort trying to get in there. So it was well managed by MNM. We also had the potential rush onto the door where Nello was able to shut that down on pantry door. I don't think we're going to see that again from Pawns. It's going to be more of a round 2 strategy where they try to get that top floor control, but I'm pretty sure MNM are going to be feeling quite confident of this one.
Yeah, finding themselves in the kitchen. However, we have to realise that one of the rounds that Pawns went for on this exact side was the rush, which was very quickly shut down by Nello on that Cade, which was, if you look at the grand scheme of things right now, one of the most important stops of a rush that we have seen, because if Nello wasn't there, that wouldn't have been MNM currently going to the major. That would have been a Pawns round, and that would have been, well, potentially the game over.
Sadler is going to stick that long angle for probably a little while. He's moving off it now, but the reason that he was holding on to that was that he saw the animation, the interaction with the laser gate that was on that window. It just told him that there was somebody around that area, so he was holding on just to see if they came back and had another little look, but there will be no joy for him. Pawns once again into the map quite quickly here, 45 seconds, and already inside. They are moving from the south to the north, looking to get that pressure on to the site nice and early. Look to get the kills above and then start working down. If they can be looking at verticality at a minute 30, a minute on the clock, they're doing pretty well.
Solotov against the mission right here. Solotov needing to. A mission just one. If this ends here for a mission, he's not going to be a Centurion, but he will find it. And that is going to be his 100th. Solotov shut down, hoping that we might see a round 15 so he can get it as well. Or is it going to be MNM that clutches his out? Nope. The mission so far, another kill on the board right here. Uses Ghost for a jump out, doesn't check behind him, gets shut down by WTG. And Pawns are looking to bring this all the way to 15.
The Thinker Boost will come in as well, just to boost those players back up who had lost a little bit of health in those exchanges. Neo, he's going to be on site. Nello could be in a big position to play spoiler here as he can get himself up onto the flank, but with the EU1D scan coming in, Nello has no choice but to move, and his position will be known. We see the pressure mounting through the hatch as he tries to turn tail and run. Does manage to get himself back into sight, but with 58 seconds left to go, there is an awful lot of pressure for MNM to absorb here. Neo, he's going to help things as he manages to take down a mission, managing to find him with a shotgun and leave us now in a 4v2, but still heavy advantage to Pawns.
Still a heavy advantage indeed, but they have some people upstairs looking through some verticals. But with 35 seconds on the clock, the true fight is coming down onto the actual site. When the plant comes through, is there any utility left? Yes, a nitro in the hands of Nello. It's flying over, but it won't detonate as WTG is there with the cover. And with that, a reply comes in. Neo finds one, but the plant is on the board. 45 seconds are counting down. Neo taking a lot of damage, rotating around over towards the China area. Is he going to be able to clutch this out for his team? Is he going to be able to bring 2 points home to MNM? Or will he be shut down? The smoke canister gets tossed in. They know exactly where he is. A second one tossed as well to try and dislocate the player close onto the bomb chassis, onto the door. But it's Nico that locks it out. And it's 15 rounds that we will go to.
We're going all the way up, and this game deserves absolutely no less. What an absolute brawl this has been between the two of them, and MNM find themselves in a position where they might actually just do the bare minimum here, but they won't care one way or another because the result is the same. 1.3 points, 2 points, it's all irrelevant to MNM now. We're going to be heading into our final round. Pawns will take the defence, and they're going to head down to Dining and Kitchen as well.
The last round of this game. MNM qualified. They'll be more than happy with that. Even if they lose it now, you can see it in the qualifier probability. In overtime loss or overtime win, both 100%. And with that, they'll be playing as they wish. Pwns, of course, they have a lot more to play for. They have the relegation in mind. They have their careers in mind. And that's how you have to see it. And of course, Solotov still chasing his 100th. It's going to be the only achievement that MNM can still go for in this game. All the other boxes have been ticked so far. Qualification, 2 hitting the 100. Just Solotov left.
Just Solotov to go. He needs 2 more kills, and he's going to need them inside of this round, but it's been kind of a slow day for him. And after the stage that he's had, let me tell you something, it will be irrelevant to Solotov largely that he hasn't hit 100. He isn't going to care one bit. The point is MNM have got themselves through to a major. They've finished top 4 in the second stage of EUL. That is massive for this team, and that's all they're going to care about. That's a big shot coming out of the Twitch drone there, able to take out that mirror window that Exodus has brought along. That is going to be a big part of unpicking this defense, so that's a great start for MNM. But Solotov, as I say, he's not going to care one bit. It'd be a nice cherry on the cake if he can manage to find his 2 kills, but a quiet game overall for him isn't going to matter when MNM have got what they needed. We're going to have the second Twitch drone going in here, just looking to take out the default cam and maybe heading towards site for any further utility burning.
Still been averaging about 11, 12 kills every game so far. So Solotov definitely has been having a huge impact on MNM, and their success story of making it to the major is just a cherry on top of the cake, as you managed to say before. But with the opening onto that mirror window, Solotov now getting grenades down below. Mission aware of the fact he might be hunted. Of course, playing on that pulse. The drone coming around the corner will indeed confirm that a mission is out there, so a hunt might be on by both Nello and Solotov combined. And that grenade around the corner from above might actually displace WTG. Barely did any damage somehow.
WTG indeed able to hold on. He's going to look for the shotgun peak. He's going to find the shotgun peak. Takes down Nello with a beautiful blast. WTG taking a lot of damage along the way, but he's not going to mind. That's the Maverick gone. And that is... no nades gone. He'd already been able to use them, so the utility not lost. Tyrant has still got 2 in pocket and will be able to continue raining some explosives down from above potentially if they choose to go for the vertical option. 1 minute 10 left to go. Tyrant currently down in the basement on the sledge, so there's not going to be much verticality unless MNM get a serious move on.
Neo and Solotov both being spotted out by Emission here. Some good information on the side of Pwns. However, Users is coming on a bit of a flank, and they don't seem to be fully aware of that. C4 being tossed out, but sniped out. Won't be able to detonate here. Neo picked up, and that's a diffuser drop. Tyrant is going to be able to come in from the back with that sledgehammer. Emission will be shutting down Solotov. He will not be reaching the 100 this time around, but Tyrant is still on a bit of a clutch here. Finds 3, suddenly it's all up to Exodus now in a 1-on-2 situation. If they want these 2 points, they will have to fight for it. Exodus will need to go for a massive clutch. With 30 seconds left, he finds the very first. Does he know where the last one is? That's the big question. No, it's the Capcan trap that will end it here for Pwns, and it's going to be GG, and it will be Pwns that pick up the 2 points, and MNM that will go to the Berlin Major.
I think Nico's quite happy with that final Capcan trap. We've got a big celebration
That's so big
from
brain.
Nico on the Capcan. Big brain indeed. MNM doing as much as they needed to. Picking up the point in overtime is going to put them through to the Berlin Major. Only just. It is the minimum that they needed. And Pwns, didn't they just make their life hard? They weren't allowing them to have any easy success there tonight.
And we haven't talked about him enough. WTG, 17 kills. He wasn't one of the big storylines of making it to 100, qualifying to the major, needing to step up like Tyrant, who also 16 kills, stepped up massively for MNM, and definitely a big factor as of why they've made it to the major here today. Overall, impressive game. 15 rounds, everything we could have wished for. And with that said, let's just quickly toss it to a break with the analysts to break it down right after.